Hello, welcome back. The song that just played right now is Greetings by Pilot Red Sun, the first track off of his his album Achievement, which I highly recommend you check out. In fact, I might link the album right now. Um, Pilot Red Sun Achievement. Yeah, there we go. Put it in chat. Here we go. Anyway, now that we're here, we're just gonna play more ahead in time, um, and just basically just finish the game, basically, the main content at least. Last time we basically played through the first three chapters of the game, and we've just unlocked the fourth chapter, which is the chapter before the final chapter, chapter 5. So yeah, we seem to be pretty close to finishing the game, but we might actually do more chapters 6 and 7, which are the DLC chapters, in the stream as well, which shouldn't take too long, all things considered. So, yeah, let me just start the game up right now. Hopefully, the audio isn't too loud on my end. I am happy to be playing this game again. Now, let me get a drink real quick while the game boots up. Alright, I'm back. Got a bottle of water, so I could keep myself hydrated all stream. Uh, alright, let's get started. We see Walrus Captain. Is it Captain Walrus? I don't. I should have memorized his name at this point, which is a shame because he's actually like one of my favorite characters in this game, and unfortunately he's a character that most fans don't really draw all that much. But let's continue. Alright. I still have the hat on. I'm kind of surprised. Oops. I'm kind of surprised they actually just leave in the fact that your costume, whatever you wore in the last mission, just persists even though it shouldn't. Nope! Didn't mean to do that. It's fine. Hold on. Okay, cool. Also, well, actually, yeah, of course, but we're not gonna replay levels just for the stream. We want to keep moving. Uh, hold on for a moment. Gotta take care of something real quick. Alright, I'm back. Let's keep on moving. And how many tokens do I have? 10! Oh, nice. That means I could actually gamble a lot. Hopefully I get a new song. Nope. Nope. Ah, I'll take it. Nope. Yes! I want it. Don't interrupt me. How dare you? I'm sorry. That was unjustifiable. Alright. Boop. Nice. I haven't brought this up yet, but I really like the hub world in this game, the spaceship. It's very much, I kind of describe it as like an in-between of the Comet Observatory in Super Mario Galaxy and Starship Mario from Super Mario Galaxy 2. I just like the how compact it all feels, like, but this still feels like very lived in and stuff. Like this area right here, I'm assuming it's kind of like the basement of the spaceship. It's also where her the washing machine stuff is. What's kind of weird is that, like, in chapter 6 and chapter 7, and I'll show this off right now since we have time. So you need about like 20 timepieces to unlock Yakuza Metro, which is less than the amount needed to actually unlock the final level of the game. But to access chapter 6, the chapter preceding it, you need like 35, which is like a lot. I don't know why you need that many timepieces to unlock chapter 6, especially for a chapter that I think is the weakest one in the entire game. I guess maybe they thought, well, that chapter has all the characters in the game, so we may as well make it very special. And I guess that's the logic there, but it's just kind of weird to me. Look at all these drawings. Wow. Actually never take the time to look at what these drawings look like over here. Poiji? Huh. Nice. Anyway, let's get started with Alpine Skyline. So, fun fact about this mission select. Originally, before the DLC chapters came out, the color of Alpine Skyline was white. Because, you know, it's sort of like the cloudy world, so, you know, makes sense. But with Chapter 6 is also white. So, they decided to recolor this planet from white to a mint green instead. And I think I prefer the mint green overall. It is a very nice color, and it does, you know, it's just nice. Anyway, free roaming. So, even though, to kind of continue with my comparison of how each chapter is structured like a different Mario game. Hey Lavender, how's it going? Right now, doing more ahead in time. Just got done eating dinner, and yeah, and just gonna talk more about the game basically. How are you doing? Anyway, so to kind of continue my comparison of like how each chapter of the game is sort of structured like a different Mario game. Even though the game didn't really come out yet, I guess this chapter I would compare to like the general structure of Mario Odyssey, because it's basically like a free roaming chapter where you could choose anywhere you want, and there's basically no boot out, unlike other chapters, meaning that every time you get a timepiece, you're just not taking out the level, you're basically staying at the level to get other timepieces. I'll get more into some issues that I have with this chapter later, but yeah. You're doing okay? That's great to hear. I really do like how this chapter looks. Woo. Alright. This whole introduction sequence is the only time you ever actually get to play it. So... oh, this is all new to you? Interesting. Yeah, Alpine Skyline, Chapter 4 is... It's a pretty good chapter overall. It's not my favorite. Like I said, this chapter is pretty different from the previous ones because instead of, you know, collecting a timepiece and it would boot you out of the level, this one is trying to be more like an open world chapter where you don't get booted out of the world every time you get a timepiece, and you basically just keep getting timepieces with no interruptions. Which is cool and all. I think it's kind of neat that this chapter is kind of unique in that regard. Outside of Nyakusa Metro, which is one of the DLC chapters that also go for that open world structure, and in my opinion, does it a lot better than Alpine Skyline, as I'll get into later. But for now, let's appreciate the sights and sounds. Yeah. It's continuing the tradition this game has of just making each chapter like pretty different in terms of their structure. It's kind of like, you know, chapter 1 was very much like a sunshine level where you have like a big open world, but you are put through a linear path. Chapter 2 is like more linear, which with a bigger emphasis on like platforming and challenges. Subcon Forest is like Mario 64, where you do have an open world and a lot of freedom of where you want to go. And this world takes it a step further, where now it's like, it's all seamless now. You don't get booted out of the level. And that's commendable. I'll get into my problem with that later.
Flashing lights in the sky? They started appearing recently after some weird hourglasses fell from the sky. Wonder what they could be. In any case, I really wish they wouldn't be so bright. They're blinding.
So fun fact about this chapter is that originally this world was meant to be the desert world of the game. It was called Sand and Sails, and basically the level design is roughly the same, except instead of a bunch of clouds that are, you know, basically amount to like a bottomless pit, originally it was supposed to be like a wide open sandscape, and you would actually drive around a vehicle to go from set piece to set piece. They decided to ditch it because they didn't think it was all that fun, so instead they went with this more simple point A to point B form of traversal with the zip lines and stuff. And you may notice that some of these NPCs actually remain the same from Sand and Sails. It's just now they are recontextualized as being natives of this sky mountain world instead. And that one NPC we just talked to, you may notice has like a vaguely Egyptian-looking headpiece to their design. That's very much just a leftover from Sand and Sails, basically. But for now, let's climb on top. So, one issue that I do have with this chapter that, you know, kind of bothers me in retrospect is that there really isn't a story here. Like, stuff happens. There is like a point to what you're supposed to be doing. Like, you're exploring each mountain trying to get each of their timepieces, and along the way, you see these cutscenes of like these poisonous plants that are growing that would culminate in a finale. But there's like no real notable characters in this chapter. It's mainly just a lot of these NPCs, and they don't really have much significance to the experience of this chapter. This is it's very much a story. It's very much a case where the story is just kind of put to the side and focused primarily on gameplay, which I guess is fine, but I kind of wish that there was a little more to the story, as the story it was telling here is kind of weak, I think. But anyway, let me get this yarn. Do I have enough? Oh, I need 4 more. Okay. Yeah, we'd need 4 more yarn to get the, that's not where it's supposed to go. Yeah, we need 4 more yarn to get the time stop hat. Yeah, which is kind of funny that the last power-up is basically actually a time travel based power-up, and it's honestly the least useful one in the entire game. So funny how that works. For now, so yeah, instead of having a vehicle to traverse through the sand, you just have these zip lines instead. I would compare it to like how in Mario Galaxy, when you're shooting out of a launch star and all you do is just go from planet to planet while you point at the screen to get star bits. Though in Galaxy's case, I think it worked fine enough because, you know, it was a more linear type of game. You would constantly go back and forth with these zip lines when you're, you know, exploring and going back and stuff, which does add up over time. Which kind of leads into, I think, the biggest problem I have with the chapter in terms of it being an open world chapter. It's that the open world element of this chapter is kind of superfluous, because all it really amounts to is basically you have a choice of which mountain you want to go to, and that's cool, but what's in between all of that is basically just a lot of really samey feeling platforming, because it's mainly just doing the same kind of platforming for every single lead up to the mountain area. And to me, it kind of makes this chapter drag a little bit, especially since, like I said, you don't get booted out of this chapter like other ones do. So I feel like, in a way, oh, I hate these enemies. So in a way, I kind of feel like they went overboard with trying to make this place feel like an open world, when honestly they could have just simply have you zipline to each of the set pieces immediately, because each of the set piece is the most interesting and best part of the chapter. The stuff in between is just kind of like, it's fine, it's fun, but it's just kind of there. And, you know, that's kind of the reason why it's not one of my favorite chapters in a game. Which is unfortunate, because when you get to the actual mountains themselves, it's actually like really fun. I think there's some really good platforming there. But there's just a lot of stuff in between that I don't really care for, especially on replays. But yeah. I really do love the music in this chapter. Each of the mountains have their own unique theme, and they're all wonderful. I wonder what happens if you just leave your hat. Like, these cat thieves can just steal your hat, and I never actually tested out what happens if you just leave your hat. That I may have to test it out later if that happens. Just because at this point, like, I'm treating this playthrough differently from how I usually play this game, and I want to use this opportunity to just kind of learn new things about this game that I usually prevent myself from doing because I don't really go out of my way to do it. But yeah. Yeah, those cat enemies are, I think, the most annoying. They're my least favorite enemy in the game. They're just really annoying.
There's a horn at the top.
I'm sure there is. Thank you so much. I remember this part really tripping me up because I was just trying to wall climb up there, but I couldn't reach it, like so. But the trick is basically just do a wall climb, jump, and then double jump afterward. Uh, that's like I think the only time in the game where like the game actually wants you to approach that wall run jump maneuver differently. Because usually I always just double jump and then wall run. Oop. Sweet. I do like that whenever you go through each of these little mountain areas, the game actually does tell you, okay, you're basically done with this area. There's nothing left to get. That's cool. I like that. Keeps things moving. But yeah, as you can see, like now that we got that path created, now we have to go through this again, and it's like, yeah, it's just a lot of nothing. And then we go left this time, which should take us to... Oh, no, not yet. Yellow Band Hills. Like, as in a musical band, or like a rubber band? Hmm. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. What did you say? I sure am. Like, yeah, these NPCs don't really have much to say, unfortunately. They're just saying, like, you're right here, or you're close to that location. And it's like, what is it? Like Super Mario Galaxy NPCs, where they don't really have much to say other than the most basic things. Anyway. Miss. Okay. Boom. Boom. It is impressive that they made this whole chapter to be this big when like the rest of the game isn't really that big at all. It's just like, let me get a good look at it. Like, look at all this. Like, wow. Oh, I never noticed there's a sun up there. I mean, of course it would be a sun, but... Okay, Proceeding on to the birdcage. I like the music in this area right here.
There's a lot of really big structures up on these peaks. I wonder who built them. Birds don't build birdhouses, right?
Well, how would you know?
Have you come to...
I may as well buy stuff. It's not like... I mean, after I finish the stream, I'm likely gonna install a mod where I just grind for pawns anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, I should have bought this, though. Yeah. Greatly speed things up. And what else?
Please.
Sweet. Alright. Ooh. Ouch. I need 2 more yarn. Then we're good.
There's something strange about some of those.
Come here. What other hats do I have? Because I'm wearing the Vivian hat for the bomb hat, the brewing hat. Nothing else yet. Cool. Ouch. Oh, these enemies are also kind of annoying. They just bump you around. They're like the bullies from Mario 64. Where do we go next? Oop. Hey! How you two doing? Look at that big bird. It's funny that they actually use the crows from chapter 2, the one that are like stealing our personal info. It's kind of interesting actually, because like one of the regular enemies in this game are a bunch of like small crows that that are just very easy to defeat. I wonder if like the crows in chapter 2 are meant to be like ooh. Yeah. I wonder if the crows in chapter 2 are meant to be like ooh, are meant to be like the grown-up versions. Ooh. Boom. Ouch. What is happening to those eggs where they're just hatching and then they just immediately blow up? That seems really disturbing. Boom. I wish I have a second pin collect a third pin to equip a third badge, because I would really like to use the Relic Hunter badge at the moment. But, you know, I don't really feel motivated to collect everything in this stream, so... Oop. I don't know what I was doing there. Okay. Another rift token. This song's nice. Where am I supposed to go now? I always get kind of disoriented with this area, just because a lot of it does look a little samey. Anything up there? Have I gone there yet? Nope, not yet. Oop! Oh no! But fortunately, I didn't get double hits from just falling into the pit, so that's cool. Yeah, alright. We're approaching the end of this section. Whoop. Excuse me. Oh yeah, I forgot they do this. Ooh. Sweet. Whee! Ah! Let's bounce on this big bird. Whee! Just like that. Cool. Oh yeah, and I like this little... They actually made a unique animation for when you get this timepiece of Hat Kid not trying to wake up the bird. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, here's those purple flowers that I've brought up briefly. They're just kind of there, I suppose. Let's go to the lava cake. I do appreciate that after you get a timepiece, the game does warp you back to like the central hub, so you don't have to like backtrack all the way back to the beginning, which is nice. Is this the right way? I don't think so. Maybe. Well, go here anyway. Oh yeah, this area. I don't think I have to Right, I think I need the time stop hat for this area. I think it's like the only time in the game where like the time stop hat is actually needed to do something. But I don't have it right now, so I'll wait it out. It's like the first time that I actually don't have the time stop hat with me upon the moment I reach that area. I'm usually pretty thorough with my yarn collecting. Whoop.
This way for the lava cake. Yeah.
That little sitar is nice. Makes me think of just fire levels in Mario games. I mean, I guess a sitar is often used for anything that's like meant to be hot, but I usually associate that with like Mario anyway. Hello, Chakram Sandwich. How are you doing? I'm currently playing A Hat in Time, as you can see, and for this stream, I'm basically gonna finish the game, technically speaking, and then I'll do the DLC chapters. And then I think I'll do a third stream where I'm basically doing cleanup. Which, you know, that's it's a little anticlimactic, I realize, to just kind of have the last stream be a cleanup stream, but I don't know. I'll follow that up in the future with like regular streams of Hat in Time mods. Anyway, we're in the lava cake. But yeah, how are you doing, Chakram Sandwich?
This is the lava cake.
I actually did have a lava cake a few times. I quite like it. It's tasty. A little hot though, obviously. That's good to hear. You know, it's like, as I've said before, I have an issue where this chapter just has like a lot of in-between stuff that are kind of samey, all things considered. But like once you get to the actual set pieces right here, it's like a lot of them are actually like very unique and have some really interesting design. Like this one is one of the more straightforward set pieces. Just you're just basically going through floors of lava vase platforming challenges, and it's pretty fun. So yeah, like it's still a good chapter overall. It's definitely not a weak one at all, but I think this chapter could definitely benefit from like cutting out a lot of the in-between fluff and just kind of focus on like making this chapter just focused around these set pieces, because I imagine they did it anyway just to make sure that, you know, this chapter isn't too short. But like this chapter is already having this unique quality where like you don't get booted out of the level, and in the context of a game where timepieces do boot you out of the level, this world really does feel long, if for a while. So you know, there's definitely an area where they could have simplified things a bit. Oop. Let me go here. Woo. Wait, what? Okay, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Alright. Leave me alone! Ouch. Moving on. Oh. You don't need a fox mask for this. Oh yeah, and I should be able to unlock the time hat. Yes, I have. Here it is. So yeah, you have the time hat now, which slows down time. Not really all that useful outside of like that one section in this chapter. And I never actually finished Death Wish mode, but I think there is some cases where you do want to use the time stop hat, so it's useful in that regard. And basically at the end. Cool. Whew. So something I like to do when playing this game is basically just play through the chapters in reverse, because so as I've said before, how this game is structured is kind of interesting because there are 40 timepieces total, and you need about 25 of them to actually unlock the final chapter. What's interesting is that, like, in this way, if you're only just focused on getting all the timepieces per chapter, you're basically gonna reach the exact amount needed to finish the game. Because the remaining 15 timepieces are relegated to have time rifts instead. So if you really want to, for whatever reason, you could have a playthrough of this game without touching a single time rift, which is pretty interesting. But on top of that, what I like to do when playing this game on replays is to basically go through the chapters backwards. So as you may have noticed, to anyone who watched before, I haven't finished any of the chapters yet, and that's because I like to do this thing where after I finish this chapter, which I'm inevitably gonna do because the game doesn't boot you out of it, I will finish chapter 3, then chapter 2, and then I do the remaining extra missions that are in chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the only chapter in the game that actually has what you can consider bonus missions, as in missions that don't necessarily follow a storyline or a point. They're just kind of there for additional timepieces. And I like to think that in terms of the storytelling of this game, when Hat Kid is basically in Mafia Town trying to get all the timepieces, that's where Mustache Girl is basically like... That's where Mustache Girl enters the spaceship behind her back, basically. Like, it doesn't matter what you're doing anyway, but like, I just like to play the Mafia Town missions last, just because I like the idea that, you know, Hat Kid is distracting herself with Mafia Town, and Mustache Girl took that opportunity to enter her spaceship, basically. Oop. Ah, dang it. Oop. Oh. There we go. Ooh. Woo! Alright, and yeah, I have to take the left path, like before. think I try to think what is my favorite peak in this chapter. Because I really like the windmill for, I like windmills in like any video game, basically. I always think that they're just like a cool set piece for a video game. But I also really like the Twilight Bell, which we'll get to after this one. Okay. Okay. Is there any point to this area? Trying to figure out where to go next. I guess I'll go over here. I don't need the ice hat for that. It's probably faster that way too.
Take care, kid.
I'll take care. Now let me get swiped by the cats and see what happens if they actually like take my hat away and I just ignore them, because I never tested that out before. Come on, kitties. So far, no hat stealing. Okay, so they steal my hat. So what? Let me see what happens if I just completely ignore that. And oh wow, I actually don't have the hat icon anymore. That's fascinating. Am I seriously gonna ignore it? Cool. Ow. I don't need that hat anymore, game. I hope I can actually escape. Can I? Oh! Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, that's right, because if I don't have the hat, that means I also don't have any badges, and that means I don't have the hookshot badge. Okay, so that's how they prevent me from just completely ignoring the hat. Well, I won't be Kid any longer. Come on. Alright, cool. Very funny. Ooh. Light blue on top of dark red is a pretty pleasing combination of colors. I really should do that when I'm like designing characters. Anyway, the windmill. Yeah, it's kind of funny because like typically in my mind, like if there's a color that I define as like warm and cool, in my mind the cool colors will always be just darker to me. Oh nice, I want this pin. Thank you so much, badge seller. Now I can actually have the relic badge equipped as well. Oh yeah, so funny trivia regarding this symbol. So this badge allows you to basically use your hat abilities with a much quicker recovery period. But like this symbol right here was actually meant for a different mechanic. I'm trying to remember what it is. I think it was like I don't remember what it was, but it was like a different mechanic that it basically has nothing to do with reducing the cooldown of your hat abilities. I think it was like a stress meter, maybe? I don't know. I should check up on the Hat in Time Facts Twitter account. Those people know what's up. Anyway, there we go. Anyway, I love the music in this area. This might be my favorite song of Chapter 4. Ooh. Yep. This area is so cool. One annoying thing about this area, though, is that when you reach a certain height of this windmill, the game kind of employs this weird technique where if you fall too far, basically you would not actually land on the bottom part of the tower. You basically just be warped back to the area you were in as if you've fallen off a bottomless pit. And I understand why they did that, just to assure that you're not, like, you don't have to do the whole climbing again. But it is a little problematic when you're trying to collect everything in a section and you might accidentally forgot one early on, but you can't go back to it just because you're already past the point where you can't really get everything, basically. Anyway, I need to hurry up. Let me use the time stop hat. Nice. More 3D platformers, more video games in general really should have a clock stage. They're always really neat. I was playing around with the Rayman 4 prototype, and one of the maps in that prototype is like this really cool looking ruins area that just have like gears turning all over the place. And there's even like this cool sequence where you're just using the grappling hook to grapple onto the gears to get over to one platform to another. That prototype has so many cool things going for it. Anyway. Whew. This area does remind me a little bit of something I would see in a Rayman game. Just mainly because it's a lot of wooden platforms, and I usually associate wooden stuff with like Rayman 2. But yeah. Ooh. Yeah. I think what's one of the more unfortunate things about, like, that prototype build not going anywhere is if they were to make a new 3D Rayman game, it likely would have been anything like what Rayman Raving Rabbids could have been, because at this point it's such an old game, and the Rabbids have moved on heavily from Rayman up until, you know, the new DLC coming for Sparks of Hope. And also just in general, like, Rayman himself has really evolved past Raving Rabbids with like Origins and Legends. So like if there were to be a new 3D Rayman game, it would make sense that a new one would be like a 3D translation of Origins and Legends gameplay, which is cool. I would love that, honestly, but it's very likely that a lot of the ideas they had for Raving Rabbids probably wouldn't show up for a new 3D Rayman game. And that's a shame, honestly. But hey, we have the prototype built now. I'm satisfied anyway. Woo. There we go. Oh no! Okay. Nope. So close. Nothing around here. Oh. And aha! I forgot how long this area is. Usually when I'm pretty thorough with this game, I would spend a lot of time in this chapter. But you know, now playing this chapter like semi-casually, yeah, I'm just realizing how long this section really is. But I think we're about close to the end right now. Maybe. Yeah, we're pretty close. Whew. The double jump and dive combo along with the dive cancel, like, it's so powerful in this game and it feels great to pull off. But you know, I think there is something to be said about how having a double jump in your 3D platformer kind of trivializes a lot of the platforming challenge that comes into the game, because I'm just kind of like skipping out on a bunch of platforms and stuff and it feels good, but part of me kind of wish that maybe they could like tone it down a bit. Like, I proposed an idea a while back that one way they could add more strategy to your double jump, dive, and cancel is to kind of limit it to like 3 inputs. So like, for example, if you double jump and dive but you can't cancel, you basically have to commit. But then you do a jump, dive, and then cancel because you didn't use your input for double jump, and then you dive, hit cancel, and then you jump out of it, which you can't do in this game. But like, I'm presenting like an idea of how they could make the process of combining your 3 moves into more strategic ways. I mean, as is, it's perfectly fine, and I am happy with what it is anyway. But you know, one more timepiece, and we should be. Well, obviously, there's still a finale, but yeah. More of those flowers. Who planted those flowers anyway? And why are they making the goats really... Why are they making the goats act strangely? Anyway, last one. Speaking of goats, look at these goats. Ah!
Any hourglasses fell this way.
What's over here? Oh yeah, there's like this little area right here, the goat refinery. Not much to really do here. It's just kind of a little area they just included. Regardless of how I feel about how kind of overpowered the double jump, dive, cancel combo is, the game has such really good platforming. It's such a good game to control. And it's honestly a wonder that this game has such a thriving modding community. Ahead in Time mods are incredible, and I would be so happy to just talk about them and show them off on Twitch and YouTube. Ooh. Anyway, where is the Twilight Bell? What do you have for me?
Not every.
Nothing interesting? Okay. Aha, there it is.
This way.
Cool. Now, I think the Twilight Bell... I think the Twilight Bell is my favorite overall. I don't know. It's just a really cool place.
The Twilight Bell is just...
Boom. And one thing I do like about the Twilight Bell is that that little area preceding it is so short compared to everything else. Like, if every other area has short platforming like that, I think that would be ideal, honestly. Like, that's perfectly fine with me. The Twilight Bell.
Not.
Look at that thing. If only I could reach it.
Well, you're not looking at it, so... Let's look inside. Wow. Look at that. Ooh. Ah, this is so cool. And this area makes great use of the fox mask, which is already my favorite hat in the game, so obviously a section that utilizes it is gonna be one of my favorites in the whole game. What? Okay, what was that? What? Sure. That was very weird. Yeah. The game does have like a built-in like failsafe where if Hat Kid gets herself stuck in a piece of geometry for too long, like if she's just literally floating and you can't escape, the game will teleport you out of it, which is nice, though it's a little weird. But yeah, I don't really understand what happened even there. Hey, you know what? Let me just equip this just so the cooldown is much faster. Oh yeah, that works. This game doesn't have much to do with time travel. That's just something that people have said about this game, is the fact that for a game called A Hat in Time, there's not actually that much time travel in this game. It's purely a subcontextual thing regarding like the timepieces, but like there's no like actual time travel mechanics, nor is there like a huge focus on time travel itself. This area right here, to me, even though it's not very specific to time, like you see this like what looks like a clock at the top right here. Like this whole area right here really feels like the kind of thing that I would expect out of a game that actually does have time travel as a focus, because it's like it's so otherworldly and so mysterious, and it feels like if there's like a time dimension or a time palace, like this is what I would have in mind, frankly. Woo. And oh yeah. I have to be fast for that. There we go. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. And oh, this part's so cool as well. And I love how the music builds up from like this very alien sounding atmospheric track to the added percussion and a bit of guitar that just really adds to how cool this area is. Anyway. It's those flowers again. The illness has spread. Oh no. So yeah, I guess all those flowers that are just growing, unrelated to our events, I guess they're just driving things crazy, and now we have to like whack them. Because I guess that's one way of concluding this chapter, I suppose. One thing that is kind of cool though is that you're basically like going back to the previous locations, but with different with a bunch of tweaks and stuff. So you know, it's a kind of cool, it's a kind of neat way of bringing things back together for the climax. Except for the Twilight Bell area, because it's literally just a very small area. So that's like the only area that you don't revisit during this whole section. And then there's all these flowers that you grab onto. I'm pretty sure this song here... Yeah, this song actually plays again when in the Arctic Cruise chapter, which we'll see sometime later in the stream. Gotta be fast with this. Alright, now we just have to backtrack all the way back to where we came from, which is honestly kind of annoying. Oops. Man, I'm just reminded of Bowser's Fury when Bowser is just out in the open and the sky turns dark and stuff. Of course, that came out later, but, you know, similar vibe. Yeah, and it feels like it could have been an easy one too, because it's like, I don't know, maybe you could have had those flowers that they already established grab you all the way back to the beginning. Or at least take you to another area at least. But either way. Like I said, we don't do the Twilight Bell area, so we only really have 3 areas to take care of. So it doesn't go on for too long, thankfully. Oh, really? That's cool. Do I go left or right? Yeah, I go left, I think. But yeah, if just falling skips the backtrack, then that sounds good. I'm definitely gonna take that into consideration. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. It's actually kind of tricky avoiding these things. It's relentless. Oh, and I have to be careful with the goats because they've been affected as well. Yeah, that sounds good. Let me test that out real quick. Whee! Nice! Oh, that's actually good to know. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really not so bad. Now the last one is the red area, I think. The lava cake. Yeah. Whee! Oh wait, no, the blue area, sorry. Hello RQ, how's it going? I am currently playing A Hat in Time, and I'm gonna be reaching the final boss of the game and then doing the DLC chapters. And then I think I'll do a third stream where I'm basically doing cleanup. And I just remembered there is a way for that third stream to end somewhat satisfyingly with like the final mission of the game. So that should be good. But yeah, how are you doing, man? Oop. Where do I... Wait, where do I go? Oh, right. Here. Speedrun. Okay. Wait. Oh, wait. I think I have to go left, right? Ugh. Yep, go left. Go over here. Oh, okay. Oh, Never mind. Whew. And that would be it. Now I have to be quick, because this part is actually kind of brutal. Ooh. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Get away from me, goat. Ooh. And we're done. We're basically done with this chapter. Woohoo! Woo.
Is it over? The air is clear again. And the goats seem to have come to their senses again. I don't really understand it, but I assume we have you to thank.
Yeah, I don't understand what's up with the flowers either, game.
We found this in a cluster of those flowers after they wilted again. You were pretty insistent on going after the others, so I guess it belongs to you? Thank you for helping us.
Woo! Alright. Awesome. Now that we're basically done with that chapter, we're gonna finish the remaining chapters and then basically play through the final level of this game, and then we'll start doing the DLC chapters. So, should be good. Okay, so we did the mail delivery service. Cool. Your contract has expired. The Snatcher in the artwork is not really reflected all that well with his actual in-game model, because it's like he's very noodly and round in-game. No going back. Ah! Boss time. Woo. So, fun fact. The Snatcher is voiced by a YouTuber named... Ah, what a cheater. Anyway, The Snatcher is voiced by a YouTuber named Youngtown, and I actually knew about Youngtown years ago when I was new to YouTube as a kid. Um, but fun fact, Youngtown actually did do a Twitch stream where he basically plays as the Snatcher, complete with like a Snatcher VTuber. So yeah. Oh, you do? Cool. But yeah, he decided to do a stream where he had a Snatcher VTuber with the same kind of voice and everything. I didn't get the chance to be a part of that stream. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ooh.
Did you just color me blue with my own attack?
Yes.
Can't count, right? Surely this doesn't count. That doesn't. Time to die!
Ooh. Alright. Yeah, it's actually not that long of a fight, unfortunately. But anyway.
I feel so weak. Please, have mercy. Please, have a seat. All these timepieces landed in my forest. They are my property. So, let's make a deal, young lady. You get out of my forest, and we never see you again. Not a fan. Too bad. You don't make the calls here.
This is the point where you stop the game? Interesting. Yeah, there's a lot more to this game. It's... yeah.
Here, I'll even make it easier for you. Now, all that's left is for you to sign it.
Get out. Get out. Just get out. Okay.
You understand that's not how contracts work, right? I'm giving you a chance to scram, kid. There's no catches or clauses this time. What if I give you your soul back? Will that make you leave?
My soul. You got your soul back. You feel relieved, energized, and just the usual amount of empty.
Yes? No? Hello? Are you there? Why aren't you saying it? You're quite the character, aren't you? And a tough negotiator. Fine. I'll sweeten the deal for you.
And now that we got 20 timepieces, we can basically do Nyakuza Metro. So, that's neat. Yeah, I brought this up earlier, but like, I don't understand why Chapter 7 only requires 20 timepieces, which is like less than the amount needed to actually unlock Chapter 5, the final chapter. But like, Chapter 6 requires like 35 timepieces? It's just like, that's a lot. Um, but yeah. Well, what should I do first? Should I do Nyakuza Metro or Battle of the Birds? I think for the sake of storytelling, let's go for Battle of the Birds, and then we'll do the DLC chapters after I finish the game. DJ Grooves has the high score. Confirm him as the winner? His dancing is kinda obnoxious. Sure you want him to win? Yes.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. You secured our victory. We won the annual Bird Award trophy. The conductor is probably awfully sour from his second loss ever. But don't worry, he'll come around. Anyway, we're all done here. No more movies until next year. Since you're so eager to get your hands on them, you can take my final movie prop as your last movie star payment.
Oh, nice.
What, you were expecting something crazy to happen? Nonsense, darling. Nonsense.
Too close. Too close! Well, that was a chapter. The game is gonna keep bothering me to do Nyakuza Metro. Oh. Oh no. So, depending on which bird you choose as the victor, the voice on that phone will actually reflect that because so the guy on the phone just called me Lassie, which hints that that's actually the conductor talking to me. But if you have the conductor as the victor, that would actually be DJ Grooves talking to me because he would call me darling instead. So yeah, basically it's either birds using that voice filter. Dead Bird Studio. It's very aggressively blue. So much blue light. This might cause people watching to lose sleep. The arrow does actually follow the items vertically, so the fact that the arrow is not moving vertically at all while you're in the elevator actually breaks the illusion that your elevator is actually moving. But I think the elevator is moving down right now. Either that or it's just... Yeah, no, I think it's pretty sure... I'm pretty sure it's just... Or not. Hmm. Let me see. Okay. Well, never mind. Aha. Okay. I could have sworn there's something to read here. But I think it might be just a different area. Oh shoot! Ultra Boo! Are you the Ultra Boo that do ahead of time mods? Is that actually you? Holy cow! Hello! How you doing? Wait, what is this? A lot of these look like unpaid bills. Makes sense. You don't recall seeing many cinemas on this planet, and destroying trains probably gets pricey after a few takes. I imagine it does. But yeah, how are you doing, Ultra Boot? Yeah, right now I'm just replaying Ahead in Time. I've completed this game like 5 times, and I think this is like my 6th playthrough of the game. This is probably the most different playthrough of the game I've done, usually because I'm very thorough when playing this game. But this is actually like... I'm actually still fairly new to streaming, so I'm still getting kind of the grips of what I should do when playing games on streams. But yeah, happy to have you here. Ah. I better not die here. That would be embarrassing. Oh, but there's 3 hearts, so that's cool. Yeah, that is a lot of playthroughs. I really love this game. I first played this game when the Nintendo Switch port released in 2019, and I remember just falling in love with what the game does and all that. I don't play the Switch port anymore just because it's easily the worst version of the game to play, especially now that, you know, I could play this game on Steam Deck, so it's hardly even the best handheld way of playing this game. But I am forever grateful for the Switch version for basically introducing me to this game and its community, and just, you know, getting to play all the mods and stuff. And, you know, after I finish this game, which might be 2 or 3 streams, this is my 2nd, I am planning on doing a regular Ahead in Time mod streams, just because, you know, I just love to showcase that kind of stuff. Let me get that yarn ball, even though I don't really need it anymore because I have all the hats. Whew. Alright. I don't need that grapple. The shelves are full of movies you've never heard of. Yeah, Ahead in Time's modding community is wonderful. Alright, there is a modding jam. Yeah. Yeah, I love A Hat in Time's modding community. You know, it's like a the label reads MacGuffins. Cool. Um, it's not often we get like a 3D platformer with mod support, and A Hat in Time is one of them, and it's wonderful. All right, you have a good night, Lavendier. I hope you have fun with the rest of the game if you ever get around to it. Thank you so much for coming over. Okay. Go over here. Pew. Hmm. This part's a little tricky to navigate through. Uh, Mainly because of the weird camera locks. Yeah, that's understandable. I'm trying to remember. Chapter 1 and 2 have those mechanics where you have to collect a certain amount of pawns in an amount of time. Are there any other instances of that happening? Because I don't recall that ever happening in Subcon Forest or Alpine Skyline. Maybe Arctic Cruise? I've played this game like 6 times. I should have that memorized. Oh, okay. Hmm. Oops. I like how when you reach a certain point where you can't actually go back downwards, they just have like an animation of Hat Kid face planting. Yeah. There's a few mechanics in this game that are only really relegated to just a small section. Like, the biggest one I could think of is like in Mafia Town, where you have like these three safes that you have to unlock with tickets, and I think that's like the only time in the game where they ever actually use those. You know, that's like one of the things I do like about Hat in Time is how it doesn't really... It likes to not have mechanics overstay their welcome. But you know, it also kind of runs into the opposite problem where sometimes some mechanics are a little underutilized. The one mechanic that I'm grateful is, well, no, because Chapter 6 is mostly about task, all about carrying a bunch of items and taking them to a waypoint, and I'm not looking forward to playing that chapter again. And that should be it. Really? It got that many patches? Dang. Yeah. I actually did have a playthrough of Ship Shape where like I actually got it perfect and I actually got an achievement for completing that mission without making the captain angry, and I just did that by complete happenstance. I wasn't actually going for it, but yeah, like now I'm in like the very small percentage of players that actually have that achievement on Steam. Nothing here. Honestly, I felt accomplished when that happened. Like, wow, I actually got through that section without that much issue. Oh, really? Oh, no. Yikes. That is brutal. Yeah, because that's like the new mechanic that was introduced for Chapter 6, is that you could actually carry a bunch of items at once at the expense of having worse balancing. And it's kind of weird to me because like the game already has a system of just carrying items, and they decided to introduce a new form of that through Chapter 6, and like a tiny bit in Chapter 7 when you're like collecting all the timepieces at the end. It's just kind of a little strange. Let's see. Oh yeah, and this is something that the game doesn't really focus on, sadly, but like it does imply that Mustache Girl was in this chapter all along, and that's how both the conductor and DJ Grooves know how the timepieces work and stuff. And that's just something that's just not really done again in this game, because I don't recall many references to Mustache Girl in chapter 3 or 4 or 6 or 7 for that matter. It's almost like the first two chapters they had kind of like an idea of where they want the story to go, and then they just kind of stopped, starting with chapter 3. Which is kind of funny because I know chapter 2 was intended to be like the third chapter of the game at one point. And actually, wait a minute. Oh, I thought I saw something. Never mind. Oh, yeah. The posters came out pretty great, though it occurs to you never gave them permission to use your image in marketing. Actually, you don't recall signing a contract for anything here, or even giving them any of your details. It's possible you aren't getting paid for these movies. Well, shoot. It is a nice poster, though. Once upon a time on the Science Express. There we go. Oh. No, you're not the only one. I've seen a few people who actually say that Ship Shape is a chapter they like. I'm personally not a fan of it, just because I feel that the focus of the chapter is just lopsided in terms of just being all about navigating through the ship and just doing a collectathon task, essentially. And the fact that it's so short just kind of makes the chapter feel underwhelming compared to all the other chapters. It's my least favorite chapter of the game by far, just because it doesn't really have much going for it. And I'm just really not a fan of Ship Shape in particular. And that's about it for this section. Cool. This is like the most evolved section of the game before a final boss, outside of like, you know, the final chapter. Yeah, I wish it was longer too. Could have had like an extra chapter or two. Could have had a boss fight even. Could have had another time rift level.
Look who we've got here, darling. I guess you found my little secret, huh? This last timepiece is all for me, darling. If you want it, well, I guess you've just gotta come and get it.
This fight is pretty fun.
Ladies and gentlemen!
I love when DJ Grooves just starts screaming.
Here we go! Check this out! Whoa!
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but so the boss fights for both DJ Grooves and the Conductor are mostly the same, outside of like a tweak, I think. But in terms of like hitbox, like what does the hitbox feel most natural to, DJ Grooves or the Conductor? Because I do know that both characters actually do have the same hitbox, essentially. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Yeah, both hitboxes are the same size. I'm just wondering, like, which size is it most similar to, DJ Grooves or Conductor? It's DJ Grooves, right? Like its size fits him the best.
Have a seat, darling.
All right.
Ever since you arrived on this planet, these timepieces have fallen from the sky. Now, I could understand if you feel they belong to you, darling.
Ah, that's cool.
But did you know they allow for rewinding time? With one timepiece, I could reclaim all the trophies that belong to me, darling. Every single trophy I've lost to the Conductor where he has cheated his way to victory. I can't prove it, darling, but I'm certain the Conductor has been manipulating everything to make sure I never win. I just need one timepiece to fix years of cheating and fraud. Can't you spare me just one timepiece, darling?
What happens if I choose maybe?
Thank you, darling. You won't regret it. We'll fix years of fraud and cheating and go back to the annual Burn Movie Awards being honest and upstanding. Unfortunately, I can't have you leave this room, darling. I can't risk that word gets out. The Conductor will throw a hissy fit like never seen before. It was nice knowing you, darling. Goodbye.
Okay, so it doesn't matter. Great.
Remember this bomb, darling? I stole it from the Conductor's movie set, and now it'll be your demise.
1 minute and 20 seconds till self-destruct. Better hurry.
Check this out!
Over here! Oh, hide in there! I'll find a way to defuse the bomb!
Oof. My god. Oh, it does? Yeah. So I guess maybe, like, that kind of supports the idea that I've heard from people that DJ Grooves is a character that kind of came later, and if the hitbox actually fits Conductor, then that kind of implies that maybe DJ Grooves wasn't intended at the beginning. Or maybe they just thought, you know, a smaller hitbox would work for both characters, so. Whoop.
Here we go!
Wait, that's actually a line? I remember one of the mods where, like, you put relish in your chicken McNuggets, and, like, I think he does say he hates you. I didn't know that was an actual line. I hate you, darling! Anyway, now that we're basically done with Chapter 2, we're basically gonna do all the remaining missions in Chapter 1. And I've said this earlier in the stream, but something I like to do with this game when I'm playing through it is... So, how the game allocates timepieces is interesting, because you need like 25 timepieces to finish the game, basically, which is just the exact amount needed when you're just simply playing through the chapters. Basically what that means is that if you really, really want to, you could actually just unlock the final chapter without touching a single time rift at all. And something I like to do when playing this game is when I'm reaching towards the final 3 timepieces that unlocks the... Hold on. Had a cough. That unlocks the final level. I like to do the Mafia Town missions last, because in my mind, I think there's a funny idea of just Hat Kid getting distracted doing all these random missions in Mafia Town, and in that moment, that's where Mustache Girl decided to take advantage of that and breaking and entering her ship, essentially. And this is like the only chapter that actually has like bonus missions, as in they don't necessarily follow a storyline, they're just there for additional timepieces.
This is terrible. Someone turn on all faucets in Mafia Town. Same faucets that control the town volcano. Was it you, child? No? Mafia think he saw a little girl turn on all faucets. Little Hat Kid, can you save Mafia Town by turning off all faucets? If you close all, maybe water start flowing again.
Alright. Whee. Another fire theme that really makes me think of a Mario fire level. You know, let me actually check this out real quick, because I did decided to take a good look at the background of Mafia Town. I wonder if it's actually any different if everything's on fire. No, not really. It's just a lot more foggy and warm, basically. There's actually like a lot of little details in Mafia Town's background. Like there's like a bunch of planets floating around and a active volcano and other stuff. It's pretty detailed. And I may as well grab additional pawns. I really want to know like the logistics of this whole island getting flooded with lava, because it's like it's not just this little portion of the island, like it's everywhere. Like the whole ocean is like lava now. Assuming that's how we interpret it, at least. It must not be good for the environment. Last one, I think. How many more are there? Just one more? Okay. Yep. I'm thinking back to like Super Mario Sunshine and how before you unlock the final level of the game, the entirety of Ao Delfino just gets flooded, and you know this whole act reminds me of that. Only you know, just with lava. But the funny thing is that when Ao Delfino gets flooded, there's actually like a bit of some weird oddities that come from that. Because like the map itself, when it gets flooded, is actually not the exact same map as the El Delfino you've been going through the entire game. Like there's some weird texture quirks, and there's like an area that's actually not there before that you can't access. I'm wondering if that's like the same case here. Like if modders have actually decided to check this out. Like, is there any weird oddities that come from this version of Mafia Town that's been flooded with lava? Because I would like to know, honestly.
You did it! Small child saved Mafia Town. Now Mafia no longer need to eat lava for breakfast. Amazing! Please, take this as trophy. You are truly the hero of Mafia Town.
So I'm guessing this is the point where I guess the Mafia start acting a lot more nice to Hat Kid, just because she actually like saved this entire town. Because I guess that's just what happens. Like she brutally murdered their boss, and then after this chapter, after this mission, that's where the Mafia actually start having a liking towards Hat Kid, I guess. Of course, they're still gonna punch me and stuff afterward, so. The Golden Vault. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Chapter 5 is something that gets unlocked after you do Chapter 7 for some reason. I think the reason is because they were reordering the acts and they just didn't have the time to actually change the numbers. So chapter 5 just came after. No, not chapter. Act 5 comes out after Act 7. Whee!
What?
Welcome.
I guess I'll buy this. Do you have anything to say?
It's so big.
Just the same thing as usual. Oh, but let me get those. Dun, 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 dun. Sweet. Leave him alone. Where's the golden ticket? Ha! Whee! Oh yeah, the Death Wish. I'm trying to remember, what was the Death Wish again? It's been a bit since I've tried out the Death Wish mode, and I'm considering doing a Death Wish mode stream for this game, as, you know, any good excuse to actually finish that mode. Because I remember just stopping that mode once I got into that one Death Wish where you have to use the Ice Hat to play through the train level without jumping, and it's like, that's just crazy. Like, why would they do that? Ugh. Anyway. Let's go on top of this lighthouse. And actually, I distinctly remember one of the Death Wish levels has me navigate through that area where you were chasing the goofy mafia guy. But like, for whatever reason, I don't know why, But for whatever reason, when I was playing through that Death Wish, my ice hat would just not activate. Like, there's like a specific spot, like the whole area before you get to the platforms. For whatever reason, I can't actually activate my ice hat to actually navigate through that part without jumping. I don't know why that's the case. Let me get that. But yeah, stuff like that, it's just like... It just gives me a sour impression of Death Wish as like a kind of sloppy bonus mode they add into the game. And a shame too, because there's some really cool costumes through that mode. I really want that Snatcher Kid costume. And I want to anyway. Like, I will get that costume eventually. Bum bum bum. We've been playing this game for about 2 hours now, so like, yeah, I'm sure it is a glitch, and it's just it's a really annoying glitch. Like, that should not happen at all. But anyway, I've been playing this game for like 2 hours now, and at the rate that I'm at right now, where I'm about to reach, you know, the final chapter, chapter 5, I think I might just end stream after I finish that chapter, because I think 2.5 hours is good enough. And I'll just do another stream, just doing the DLC chapters, and basically just do a lot of cleanup. Oh yeah, and I have this song equipped. Nice. Now, I could do it the intended way, where you need to use the time stop hat, but I want to play it fair and square. I have done it before.
Little child want to race fastest man alive? Mafia stole timepiece from HQ. If you win, Mafia give it to you. It is on! Mafia not sure Mafia survive this, but at least Mafia die as fastest man alive!
Alright, let's see if I could get through this without failing. I probably will. Oh wait. Shoot, 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 shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna lost. Okay. Boom, boom. It's like the only time, I think. No, there's probably another instance, but like, that's a rare instance where the game actually tells you, retry this act, and yeah, of course. Let me see if I can do that better next time.
It is on!
Get ready. Go!
Ah, so close. I could do this without using the time stop hat. It is possible. There should be like an achievement for that. If you can actually finish this race without using the time stop hat. But that would be too much, I imagine.
Get ready. Go!
Oh yes! I did it! Woo! Oh, camera, please. But yeah, it is possible.
Here we go.
Oh man. All that time, wasting my time with that race, causes Mustache Girl to break and enter my ship. That's unfortunate.
All right, I'm in. I made it. I infiltrated that kid's spaceship without the alarms going off. I bet she's collected a ton more timepieces than I have. Now, where does she keep them?
So yeah, we're playing as Mustache Girl for just this one section. I think they initially planned to have more to do with the playable Mustache Girl, but that never really happened. Also, look at that shadow. Also, if you just pause the game, you can see that you still have access to Hat Kid's equipment and stuff, which is kind of funny. Also, the music just completely stops, so I don't know what's up with that. I guess the music itself is actually not a song; it's just an audio track.
Must be where she stores them all. Time to mess with time a little.
Well, shoot. Let's gamble. Ooh, nice. Ooh, yes. Nice. This is the best luck I've had with like getting remixes in this game. Not enough tokens. Alright. It begins. Now, let me show this off just because I want to. If you use the camera mode and you go inside this closet snugly and go through the shorts, you see this. Interesting. Lots of interesting images, stuff that's not really shown in game. This is, of course, a reference to the Mole Man ARG. Probably the most overt reference to it by far, because it is just literally photographs from those series of videos, like the locations and stuff. And if we look down there, besides these two pair of skulls, you get some drawings. So here's come on, camera, please. Jeez. Here is Hat Kid controlling a rocket ship. Kind of neat. Here is a Hat Kid in this weird area. It kind of looks like a Smash Brothers stage, actually, like something in Smash Brothers 64. Another is what appears to be a time rift, I think. At least that's what it looks like to me with the blocks and stuff. And then here's a pink character riding on a yellow bunny. Okay. Here is this area, which I believe is depicting the Sand and Sails chapter. And probably the most interesting one by far, where is it? Aha! We see Hat Kid and some weird darkness character floating together on top of the earth. And at first, it may seem like they're fighting, but if you look at their faces, they're actually like smiling. So I guess they're like friends. Apparently pretty interesting. And also, oh, I didn't mean to do that. But also, if you put on the fox mask, oop, like so, and then you go back inside, you see this. This is translatable. I don't remember what it says, but there's a translation online. But yeah, this whole closet here is basically just a full-blown reference to Mole Man. It's pretty wild. Whoop. Woo! Alright. Now there's also another secret that is pretty neat. Let me go around here. Here's a little mouse hole. Which, it's kind of funny, it's just a texture, I think. Yeah. Now what do we have here? Oh. A roach. I had all the gold in the roach world, and yet I was unhappy. I learned that gold tarnishes and turns dull, but a mind filled with gold is safe from tarnished and can hold limitless wealth. You have a heart of gold, Hat Kid. I have evolved. Sorry we didn't get to meet. Our king. And here's another note. It has been a long journey. Watching you all grow up into two adults was a pleasure. But soon this story must end. Life moves on, and new moments await you. We will meet again, someday. I look forward to that day. Farewell, Roach King. I find this area so interesting. It's the attic of the ship, and there's just something so ominous about this location. Like sealed treasure chests, cobwebs, those Easter eggs, and what exactly are these things actually? Are these just wires? It's pretty interesting. Oh, and I forgot there is a globe right as well. Oh, that texture is getting pixelated. Wow. But yeah, let's move on to the finale. Alright. Time's End. Let me take a look around. Oh yeah, I just noticed that like this background actually does. This background is actually spherical. Like it is supposed to look like a planet here. Huh. What do we have up there? There's a sun. Hat Kid is just floating. Let's move on. I'm number 153.
He's just like Time Island covered in lava. Oh, it's so hot out here. My liquid is almost boiling.
The boss will get us out of this. DJ Grooves is a star, you know?
Mafia do nothing to deserve this. Mafia relax and live on island time. It's 5 o'clock there, always.
This isn't my menacing, oppressive home. fellow alleged criminal. There are very many of them.
Aside, maybe I could have done better with my life.
Hey, kid. How's that soul of yours? Still rattling around in there? I'd love to know
This camera angle.
feel to judge me. So I've taken a few hundred souls. Big deal. Do us all a favor, kid. Go check out who thinks they're better than us and hit them. I don't usually advocate that kind of thing, but this is pretty authoritarian.
Smoke, fire, burning bright.
This is perplexing. Why have we birds been gathered here? Do you know, fellow criminal?
What are we being judged for? All our movies were wholesome action flicks.
Good to see you, darling. Nice to know I'm not the only superstar waiting around this tawdry place. Slide on up past those doors and find out who's calling the shots, won't you?
When is being spooky a crime? They're here too, lass. What is this place? I've never broken a law in my life. Oh, whoever they are, I'm nae gonna be judged by some mustached, heartless, hood-wearing, statue-posing, castle-dwelling, ticket-giving picnic!
Never done a crime in my life.
We are all here for crimes. Allegedly. What alleged crime did you commit, fellow criminal? What legal term would you use to describe your crime?
What kind of crime? Well, how would I what kind of term would I describe my crime? I'll go with fandoms. Sure. That's my biggest crime. It's just taking apart, being a part of fandoms.
I see. So, this is the face of...
Yep.
Together, soon.
I'm really not getting to work on time.
I love the whole setup here, where like every character here is just like put in this place where they're judged for their crimes, and they're like, but what have we done to commit a crime? But like, these characters are frankly, actually, you know, they have actually committed crimes. They are, you know, they have made really unsafe movie sets. They are living under the fist of the Snatcher. The Mafia are just the Mafia. It's like the only people who don't really deserve to be here, I guess, is like any of the inhabitants from Alpine Skyline. But that's mainly because they don't really have much going for them anyway. So it's like I just like the setup of this whole final chapter. Oh. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Wow. I just started and I already died. Great. But yeah, anyway, this is a pretty good final level, all things considered. It's not nothing. It's nothing like super crazy, but it gets the job done. Whoop. Okay. Ooh, I could have killed myself there. Oh my god, seriously? Well, thankfully the checkpoints are pretty lenient. Oh yeah, I do remember this. I think in the Switch version, there is a yarn ball inside of that explodable crate. And if you don't get that yarn ball in time when it pops out of the crate, you basically missed your chance of getting it, and I think it's actually impossible to get that yarn back unless you basically, like, have an entirely new save, basically. Yeah, like, I recall that there are, like, very minor yarn location differences depending on the version of the game. Assuming that, you know, they don't get patched out in subsequent updates. Oop. I wonder why she has paintings of me. Nice. Oh no! Yeah. They are... You also see those same paintings in the art gallery room. But yeah, they're just in this level as well. And I'm wondering what that suggests. Oop. Oh no! Oh good, it doesn't warp me back. And of course, we do get these paintings of a mustache girl in a lawyer outfit right there. And then her sitting on her throne with a huge cape there. I like to think that she actually did those paintings herself. And I like to think that she's just pretty good at that. But yeah, final battle time.
I didn't punch old man for like 2 days straight that one time.
Oh wow! What a touching story! Just kidding. Bad guy, next! you. You've been kinda a selfish little pest, but you haven't actually stood in my way. You get to go on. You're a good guy, I guess. Go on! You get to live! Next!
Okay, cool. Do you really want to leave and give up? Abandon everything? Let the world remain in this state forever and never return home? Sure. Everyone will be awfully disappointed. Are you sure? You aren't crying, are you? Nah.
Really? You're leaving? Not even going to put up a fight? Pathetic.
Yeah, you could just leave this fight. And that was ahead in time. Anywho. Ouch.
Excuse me! Don't you dare get anywhere near me. I don't think you quite understand who's in charge, little missy. You know, I was willing to forgive you. I once thought we were gonna be best buds. But nope, you turned out to be rotten and selfish. Save the planet from bad guys. Psh, who needs that, am I right? Look at all I've done without you. I've restored justice. I am the justice. No more bad guys. Ever. I don't need you. This planet doesn't need you. Nobody will miss you, and nobody will care. You are the bad guy, and I'll show you how this justice system deals with bad guys.
I wish that game focused a lot more on Mustache Girl, because I really do like her as a character, but the game really does not have a huge focus on her. Like, she has some prominence in Chapter 1, a large amount of prominence in Chapter 1. She is hinted to have, you know, actually taught both the conductor and DJ Grooves how the timepieces work, and then after that she's just gone for a majority of the game. Until the finale, that is. Hi, Mafia.
That girl is not welcome here. Mafia say get lost.
That's right, get lost. No one wants you here. Isn't that right, big lad?
This alternate reality stinks.
Get lost! Ain't that right, gang? Get lost! Get lost!
Yeah, get lost! What? But I'm fixing everything. No more bad guys. Why can't you see that I'm doing this for all of us?
One of the most iconic scenes in my favorite video games. Just a bunch of bad guys
Criminals!
telling this girl that she sucks and that no one wants a hero, basically.
This ends now.
I said this before, but it's actually kind of remarkable how, like, the characters in this game really don't have a huge good or bad kind of thing. They're all very gray, because it's like you have a bunch of criminals and you know, awful people infested in this planet, and then you have Mustache Girl, who is in the right for, you know, actually pointing out that all these people are terrible, but she just takes it way too far, basically. And it's like, it's kind of amazing to me how how not so simple it actually is. But again, I just wish that there was more focus put on Mustache Girl. Oop. I'm pretty sure I did. You could actually hear a smack sound there for a moment.
Let's give her something she can jab at, that little red nuisance, so she'll get lost. Let's roll. Little girl, give us a shove right into that red lass's ugly mug.
Don't call her that. That's not nice. Yeah.
Let's sign a contract, make this girl get lost. Once and for all. Alright, let's go. I'll create, you throw.
You have to sign a contract just to throw cherry bombs. Snatcher really knows his way through the legal lees. I like how you don't even need to be precise with your cherry throws. Like, you're... as long as it explodes, then... right? Like that, yeah. Whoop. By the way, I should have said this. This isn't too intense, visually speaking, right? Because I wonder if this arena is actually, like, not exactly good for people with... who are prone to epilepsy and stuff. It's not just flashing colors, but, you know, it's kind of intense to look at. That didn't even hit her, and I still got her shield.
When Mafia explode, Mafia drop pawns. Is Mafia an idea? Little Hat Girl need help to turn back time. If Mafia explode, Little Hat Girl get useful pawns. Mafia has to explode to save world. What? Man is crazy. Hello, Mafia. No worry. If Little Girl succeed, Mafia come back when time rewinds. Now, punch me with all your might, fellow Mafia. No hesitation. Red Hooded Girl, get lost.
This is like the ending to the 1,000-Year Door, except with a lot more suicide. Oh my god, this is a really fucked up scene.
Those Mafia lads, so foolishly brave. But what's the point of living if I ain't got me train anyway? Alright, TJ Grooves. The two of us are gonna help this little hat lass. Get ready for a mean punch. And you aim for my face. That's my weak spot. This angry red lass needs to get lost.
Yeah, this scene is just... this game has a good, dark sense of humor. Like, what the fuck?
What is this? If everyone disappears but me, then I'd be all alone. Bad guys, stop it!
No, you're the bad guy. Get lost.
We don't need a hero. Get lost.
Get lost.
I always love the crow. It's like, boo, you stink!
Was it disappearing?
Alright. Oh my god. There we go. Whoa! Okay. Huh. Anyway. Wait, you could sit in his throne? I never knew that! Wow! Oh my god! I never knew I can do this. Wow. Anyway. I do like this ending cinematic coming up. It's like one of the more nicer looking cutscenes in the game. Like the animation here is actually really nice compared to the rest of the game. Outside of the DLC chapters, which are like really nice by comparison. What do you think? Should I give her the timepiece or not? Don't throw? Nah. We don't even have all the timepieces, so it's not like it's gonna help us in the long run. Boop.
Don't leave us.
Hey, kiddo. Let's make another contract.
Oh, don't you dare leave, lass!
Let's watch our movie, darling.
Hey, at least I got DJ Groove's actor for the scene. He didn't really talk much during that finale. Look at them just float off the planet. And that was A Hat in Time. At least half of it, basically. Well, not even half of it, because there's like 56 timepieces total, including DLC chapter. So really, we only completed like about 2/5 of this game, if we're being real. But yeah, that was A Hat in Time. I've said this before. A Hat in Time is one of my favorite games ever. It's interesting because, like, I've known about this game back during the Steam Greenlight days. I remember seeing it on Steam Greenlight, seeing some news coverage of the game back in like I think 2015 maybe. And at the time, I just thought, it looks kind of cute, it looks neat, but it doesn't seem like the kind of game that I would be too excited for. Especially when there was other Kickstarter projects that seemed a bit more exciting back then, like Mighty Number 9 and Ukulele, and it's kind of funny to think I was pretty excited for those two back then. I've heard Ukulele is not that bad. It's just kind of underwhelming. But, Hat in Time, playing this game on Switch and then eventually getting the PC version, this game just does so many things right. It is not like a perfect game at all. It's a little unpolished in areas. Not all the content is the best it could be. And there's definitely an element of this game that does feel kind of budgeted, and it's not like the most. OBS just disconnected. But back to what I was saying. This game isn't like the most refined thing ever, but despite that, like, I really appreciate just how much this game does. Like, every chapter is very unique, and I really do mean it when I say every chapter is unique, not only in terms of story and characters, but also just how the game toys around with its structure. This is a quality about A Hat in Time that I really respect, is how it doesn't really settle for like one type of structure, like, oh, this is an open world game or this is a linear game. Like, this game really likes to play around with its format and go, have some really interesting twists on itself. And, on top of that, it's just like the platforming is solid to great. The game feels great to play. There's so much charm and character in this game. So much of this game reminds me of when I was a kid and I was like really into the early Paper Mario games. And there's so many things about this game that reminds me of Paper Mario. Just how each world feels like something I would see in a Paper Mario chapter. And this game to me is kind of like, if you take the character writing and world building, for lack of a better term, and put that into a 3D platformer, that's A Hat in Time. And this game really captures my imagination in a way that most video games don't. And it's a reason why I keep coming back to this game, because I just love to experience like all these characters and all these locations again. It's like there's a reason why I've made a bunch of art for this game, and I've actually been thinking of also making a fan game based on this game. That's like a 2D platformer collectathon instead. Was like fully original characters besides Hat Kid and Bow Kid, because one of the things that I would definitely like is a sequel to A Hat in Time, and I just feel like it's really hard to predict for me what a sequel would even be. Well, because first off, Gears for Breakfast are not prioritizing that at the moment. They want to make something else. They want to make something new, and I respect that. But the potential for A Hat in Time 2 is not out of the question. The developers have said that we may actually do a sequel, maybe, but we're just not committed to it at the moment. Again, that's fine. but for what we have here, it's just a lovely little game that, you know, it's a little rough around the edges, and not everyone's gonna be head over heels for it like I am. But this game just does so many things right for me, that it does so many things that I want in a video game, and it's a reason why this is one of my favorite games ever made. And yeah. So this will be the end of the stream. We've been streaming for about 3 hours, so seems like a good opportunity to just stop right here, and next time when I stream this game, I will be playing through both Chapter 6 and Chapter 7, and I will do basically a cleanup of the entire game, collect every yarn ball, collect every rift token, collect basically everything, and just, you know, fully complete this game, which I have done numerous times at this point, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I am very grateful to anyone that comes over here to watch me. I'm getting more used to doing Twitch streams, and, you know, I'm happy to do more in the future. Yeah. Anyway, that'll be it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a good night, and take care.